Hey everyone, welcome to WittCode, where in this video we're going to learn how to create a shareable ESLint configuration that can be published to NPM and then installed from NPM to be used in multiple projects. So as an example of what we're going to build, right here I have some ESLint errors that are coming from a simple ESLint configuration file where all it does is extend a package that has been published to NPM. For me, this is at WittCode -ESLint config, and all it is installed as a development dependency. And so what's great about this is we just have to have one global ESLint configuration, and we can use it across multiple projects with minimal setup. So this is what we're going to be building. So a shareable ESLint configuration is an ESLint configuration that is available on NPM for download. Therefore, it can be downloaded from NPM and applied to different projects, allowing for a consistent ESLint configuration among multiple projects. And now let's start building a shareable ESLint configuration. To start, just initialize an empty directory as an npm project with npm init-y, which creates a package.json file with default settings. Now, to make this ESLint configuration shareable, the package name, so this right here, needs to begin with the string ESLint config, just like this. However, we can also create a scoped npm module that contains the name ESLint config. So for example, I have one called at WittCode -ESLint config under the scope WittCode. So I would recommend creating an ESLint configuration with your own scope. And of course, this is done by setting the name key inside package.json. And now, to get the shareable configuration to work, we also have to export the ESLint configuration from the project's main entry point. And this is the file index.js by default, but it can be whatever you place inside here as the main entry point. So let's create this entry point, which is simply index.js. And now all we have to do is export an ESLint configuration object from it. And I have one in here that I'm going to be using. So just like this, but you can of course go on the ESLint website, find your own or customize your own that you want to use. This one specifically requires an indentation of 2 spaces. It has a line break styled Unix, single quotes are required, and semicolons are always required at the end of statements. We also extend the ESLint recommended base rules and set the environment to be a node environment. And now, after making these rules, all we have to do is install ESLint with npm i ESLint, and now we simply need to publish this to npm, so we're ready to go. And to publish this ESLint configuration to npm, we first need to log into the console with npm login. So npm login like this. If this is your first time logging in, you may have to go into the npm website and log in there. So you can see you press enter here and it'll take you to the browser. And next, after you've logged in, we simply need to publish this to npm, which we can do with npm publish and then set the access equal to public. But note that specifying the access here to public is only necessary if you don't have a paid npm account. To publish private packages on npm, you must pay for it, but simply run this command to get it published. And as I already have this one published already, I'm not going to be publishing it up, but I would recommend publishing your own, or you can come along and use my configuration that I have here. But now let's test out this configuration. So open up a new empty directory. So here I have an empty directory called ESLint test. And first what we want to do is let's initialize this as an ES6 npm project with npm init ES6-y. And this will create a package.json file with the type set to module, so we can use the more modern import syntax. And next, let's just install our shareable ESLint configuration from npm as a development package with npm i and then the name of the configuration, which for me was at WittCode -ESLint config, and then install it as a development dependency. Next, we just need to create an ESLint configuration file, and what we will call it is .eslint-rc.js, or sorry, not JS, but .cjs, and the reason for this is because ESLint uses CommonJS, and we specified our project as ECMA script by setting type to module. But we can use module.exports in a file if we give it a .cjs extension. And now all we need to do inside our ESLint configuration is just export our ESLint configuration. So we do module.exports, and we just say we extend this configuration that we installed as a development dependency. And now let's create some code to lint. So we're going to create a folder containing our source code and an index.js file. And inside this file, let's just log something without a semicolon at the end of it indent a function declaration with 3 spaces, and use double quotes for a string, which we can see here. And now we can right away see that all of these ESLint errors are from this simple configuration that just extends our npm published ESLint configuration. Note that these red underlines and everything come from an extension that I've installed onto VS Code. If you don't have that installed, you can also just create a lint script. So we can do lint and set it to ESLint.-source, which basically means it will lint our source directory. And now all we have to do is say I press save. It'll automatically correct these for me. But if we run npm run lint, we get some errors. And what this is all coming from is this configuration. So this at TypeScript ESLint no unused vars is an ESLint rule that it comes from inside this package I have on npm. And as a note, if this doesn't work, I would recommend restarting the ESLint server. So if you go to view, command palette, and then type in restart ESLint server, sometimes this gets things working if they don't work right away. But besides that, this is my video on creating a custom publishable ESLint configuration. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. I'll try and get back to you. But besides that, I want to thank you for liking and subscribing today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a good one.